So ARK just recently dropped a patch that's made Ossidon Taming a heck of a lot easier, meaning a 150 is actually attainable now. To quickly summarise the math, any creature swallowed by the bolus, the big giant snowball that a Ossidon rolls, would stay in there for 8 seconds before being ejected, and that would continuously roll to all 5 maximum creatures allowed in the bolus at any one time. That meant prior to this recent buff that a 150 tame was practically impossible, and now Wildcard have reduced the aggro from 8 seconds to 5 seconds per dino, which means it is actually doable when you now take into account wild dinos don't aggro on your Ossidon whilst mounted, but they will still aggro if it's attacking them in the wild. But with an additional 30% base health and 35% base melee, as well as them now being available to tame on a stray Yas, as well as Raasclark, Valguero and the center. So I'm going to show you 3 different ways on how to tame an Ossidon. One without the use of tech and no tames available, one using tech and some tanky creatures at the ready, and one kind of niche depending on if you've got those specific creatures tamed. So the non-tech way, we're going to head here to the center, where below us is a lovely snowy iceberg, and surrounding this snowy iceberg is plenty of penguins. And penguins are going to be very useful to us, because there's lots of them all here in the water to find and discover, but we need to bring them onto land first. The Ossidon will be spawning somewhere over there and somewhere there, but we're going to first create a safe space here, so we're going to worry about any dirty rhinos like this one here, this one over here, and that one over there. We're using a griffin because, of course, you can shoot off the back of a griffin, so this is going to make shooting an Ossidon just a little bit easier. And we definitely don't want anything aggressive, because now we're going to pop a rare flower and get as many penguins to aggro up here as possible. Make a nice little pile all the way into this corner here. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4 penguins here. Now we still want a few more. You see a penguin over there. A couple of things here. Definitely a starter for 10. And get looking for the first available Ossidon and hope for a high level. And perfect, there we go. We got a 150. Exactly what we need. So we're going to aggro this over to where all the penguins are. There we go. Right, we've got its aggro now. Right, once we've got close to the location, time to start trying to get the thing out. Having the griffin's going to make this just a little bit easier as we head to this location, this nice big flat location. And what's super important when we're close to 50% torpor, though, not knowing right now, we want to make sure we leave the griffin somewhere. There we go. Okay, right, we're on. We're going to jump on the thing and instantly pop some rare flowers, because that's going to aggro these penguins to us. Wild, ain't it? After Wildcard nerfing the aggro, we actually want aggro now. Keep collecting penguins, keep popping rare flowers, and keep collecting spikes at all times. We're about to attack. We're going to look uphill because the spikes are going to be a lot easier to reach. And we're going to keep popping them rare flowers, keep hitting the penguins, keep looking back up, and keep rolling onto those spikes and rolling back down to collect more penguins. Rinse and repeat. That's all we're doing. Which we want to probably be focused more on the spikes now, as we've only got 2 penguins left to go. 1 left with 16 seconds. And there's our last one. And there's our magic 25% taming effectiveness. So we're now going to fly away as quick as we can, jump back to our griffin, and repeat the process again. But what's important is to try and lure it away from the penguins. So what we don't want is all these penguins that we've got nestled in that one area up there to get aggroed over in this direction, or else, well, they'll all be dead and then you won't have any penguins to use. So we're going to build up that torpor once again. And always important to make sure you don't press E again. But we're going back to all of our lovely penguins back over here. There we go, to repeat it once again. And make sure we're picking up all the penguins we need. There we go, more penguins to go. Perfect. And just keep on popping them flowers, baby. And you can see each time that bar is going up and up and up. It resets back down to 66% to go again. And there we go! All done. And perfectly tamed. That's 224 without using any tames. So now you know how to perfect tame a 150 without the use of tech or tames. Well, let's make it even easier now. Because now all we're going to do, once we've found our Ossidon, wherever it may be. There we go, perfect. Whip out our binoculars so we can track the thing. Make sure, of course, anything in the vicinity is dead, which looks like it'll be that mammoth. So whilst it's fighting that mammoth, we got a nice little valley here. This is perfect. This is what we're looking for. A few little high rises. And we're going to whip out our turtles. 5 of them. All saddled, unleveled, and go and aggro our Ossidon over. And obviously start shooting him in the heads to gain that torpidity. Make sure we're close to the turtles, but not too close. And that will do. Whistle follow and jump on the dude. Here we go. And we're off. Make sure we're picking them all up. Get shooting. And this should be a much easier game now. Just go back and forth on this valley. Making sure to pick our turtles up each and every time. And it's nice and straightforward like this. Just keep on picking them turtles up. Keep going back and forth. Obviously be mindful there not to get stuck on anything. We don't want that to happen. We know we've got a max 5, so we know if anyone's walking about, they need to be picked up. And there we go. That's our first chunk done. 100%, 25 timing effectiveness. So we're going to knock it out again. And this really is just about locking in. Focusing on what you need to do, what you need to get, what you need to pick up, what you need to roll your balls into. Ensure we're picking them up. We've got 10 left to go with 20 seconds on the clock. It is still incredibly tense and incredibly tight. And I think it's meant to be, right. It's meant to be a rewarding, tense thing. 2, 1. Oh, that was close. But done, tamed, and locked in. A 224 the tech way. So there's one more kind of niche third taming method, and well, it just depends if you've got any of these, but zombie dodos. If you manage to tame some of these during the ARK Ascended event, you will know these things are strong. These things have monstrous health as well as very quick health recharging. So this one here has 7k health, but you can get these going all the way up to like 30k unofficial. You can get some seriously tanky dodos. And I think because of the health recharging, this might be even easier because, of course, you'll have a heck of a lot of these anyway. And with the more that you've got, the easier it's going to be to quickly roll up the creatures you need. So, I'm going to put follow distance on highest. Make sure to copy it to all dodos in the area because we don't want these getting too close because these things move incredibly fast. So, let's go and get our Ossidon. As you'll notice, we're on Valguero for this. I thought, let's go to a different map, show you a different location. This one, of course, hasn't got a close proximity valley like the first one, but being a nice open area, away from danger, no real challenge, no real wild spawning around here. It's a great place to lure one. Make sure to follow whistle. Right, and off to a good start. Right, let's try and aim these spikes at the ramp here if we can. Make sure to collect at least 3 or 4 and turn. Hit zombie dodos. Okay, that's working pretty good, I think. Collecting them very, very quickly. In fact, I think I can probably just about cheese it and just turn to the ramp each and every time. Yeah, that highest distance is definitely required though, because I'll get too close otherwise. See here, we've lost a few now. We're going to quickly just roll up what we can. Yeah, it's a lot quicker picking them up because obviously we're rolling straight over them rather than the turtles. And because they're zombie dodos, they are healing super duper quick. I mean, it's still certainly tight. I think that's plain to see. But doable. I think that's most definitely a niche way to do it if you've got the zombie dodos available, of course. Hilarious that in the stream that we originally did, everyone was shouting dodos, and I was saying, come on, don't be silly, they will die instantly. And they will. Normal dodos won't last a second, but zombie dodos have the ability to replenish their health super duper quick, which really makes all the difference. That is the real issue here. And they're rapid. Look how fast these things are chasing me around and keeping with me. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's hitting them for like 255, 455 a hit. So you really do need that extra health in between replenishing its torpor. I wish you've kind of got that rally nailed, knowing when to turn around to look at a ramp. It's sort of straightforward. It's still kind of hairy, but most definitely doable. And obviously having that ramp available, we're quickly getting these up very quickly. Look at that. Doing absolutely great time. Just need to get that last one now. And rinse and repeat. And just having them zombie dodos at the ready. And we're done there. There we go. One more round to go. Alright. And now the last attempt now. Yeah, this has gone a lot easier. 20 seconds left and we're doing pretty good for time, I think. I mean, it's tight as it needs to be, but we got the creatures in very quickly. And there we go! Perfectly done! 224, the zombie dodo method is perhaps possibly the best way to tame a Ossidon, without a doubt. Look at these things. None of them have lost any health this entire time. If you've got zombie dodos, this is most definitely the way to do it, without a doubt. Without a doubt. To get your max 150 Ossidon. Well, there you go, folks. I hope this has been informative. And I hope at least one of these methods works for you. It really is going to be some bragging rights if you claim that 150 without a doubt. If you're feeling a little bit less confident, just go for a slightly lower level. 145, 140. The numbers start dropping as you go for them. So, until the next one, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And as always, peace out.